Jai Hind to all. Let's continue our chapter Training in Sports. First topic is components of physical fitness. Components of physical fitness such as strength, speed, endurance, flexibility and coordinative abilities. In that, strength already we learned. Today's our new term is endurance or stamina. Endurance, what do you mean by endurance? Endurance is the ability to sustain an activity. That means ability of muscles to do the activity in continuously in prolonged time without fatigue. Fatigue means or it's another meaning tired. Endurance can be measured by with help of repetitions. For example, the number of sit-ups an individual can complete in 1 minute is used to measure the endurance of the stomach muscles. Next subtopic is types of endurance. There are two types of endurance. One is according to nature of activity and second one is according to duration of activity. In that, now we explain about according to nature of activity. According to nature of activity, there are three types: basic endurance, general endurance and specific endurance. First one is basic endurance. Basic endurance is also known as aerobic endurance. For example, jogging, slow jogging, walking, running and swimming at moderate speed for more than 30 minutes. Basic endurance forms of all the basis of all types of endurance. Second one is general endurance. These activities may be aerobic or anaerobic in nature. These activities may be low or high intensity, but for longer duration. General endurance enables a sports person to perform different types of activities for longer duration without fatigue or without tiredness. Third one is specific endurance. Specific endurance is the ability to resist fatigue caused by a specific or particular sports activities. For example, specific endurance of a wrestler is to combat effectively in the 3 rounds or 6 minutes, whereas it is of 4 rounds for a boxer. This is the difference of specific endurance. Second type of endurance is according to the duration of the activity. There are 4 types. One is speed endurance, second one is short term endurance, third one is middle term endurance and fourth one is long term endurance. First one is speed endurance. Speed endurance is the ability to resist fatigue in activities lasting up to 45 seconds. Best example for that, 400-meter sprint. It mainly depends on the power and capacity of an energy production. Second one is short-term endurance. Short-term endurance is needed to resist fatigue in sports activities lasting from about 45 seconds to 2 minutes. Best example for that, 800-meter race. Here mainly depends upon strength endurance as well as speed endurance. Third one is middle term endurance. Middle term endurance is needed for such sports activities which last from 2 minutes to 11 minutes. It also depends upon the speed endurance as well as strength endurance. Best example for that, 1500-meter races and steeplechases. Fourth and last one is long-term endurance. Long-term endurance is needed in such sports activities last for more than 11 minutes. For example, 5000 meters, 10,000 meters, cross country and marathon races, etc. Next subtopic is methods to develop endurance. There are 3 methods to develop endurance. First one is continuous training method, and second one is interval training method, and third one is Harlock training method. First one is continuous training method. Continuous training method is the best methods for improving endurance. In this method of training is performed for a longer duration without any break. In this method, intensity is low because the exercise done for a longer duration. For best example for continuous training method is cross country. Heart rate between 140 to 160 beat per minute. Here, duration of the continuous training method is more than 30 minutes. These are about continuous training method. Advantages of continuous training method. It increases glycogen in muscles and liver. It increases the numbers and size of the mitochondria. Do you know about mitochondria? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Then it increases efficiency of heart and lungs. And last, it makes the individual to self-discipline as well as confident. Second method is interval training method. Interval training method is of heart through endurance training. If you run, your heart beats at a faster rate. Interval training method discovered by Bikila, the famous athletic coach of Finland in the year 1920. In interval training method, when an athlete runs at the speed of 80%, his pulse rate will be 150 to 180. In the rest, the pulse rate should come down 120 to 140. This is the best recovery time for speed endurance. This training method is based on effort and recovery principle. Speed, work, effort and recovery will be given according to the talents or efficiency of an athlete. For example, 400 meter race. First 400 meter race with 80% speed have to run. Then after 400 meter race have to give proper rest or recovery period. That means heart rate between comes down 120 to 140. Again, second repetition should start. That means 400 meter race again speed with 80% of speed. Some of the advantages of interval trainings are more workout can be performed in shortest duration and more beneficial for both respiratory as well as circulatory system. And third, patience can be increased in athletes. Some of the disadvantages of interval trainings are top performance comes before the competition and cannot remain up to the competition time. Second one is there are more chance of injuries. And third one is regular training can lead to heart diseases. Third and last method is Farlek training method. This method is used for developing endurance. Gösta Holmer developed Farlek training method in the year of 1937. The word Farlek training is a Swedish word. It means speed play. It's a combination of both aerobic and anaerobic systems. In this method, pace or speed not pre-planned, so it is left up to the individual. In this method, we can be used for various areas like hills, forests, muddy areas, forests, fluffy areas, etc. The heart rate between 140 to 180 per minute. The duration of the training more than 45 minutes. Some of the advantages of Farlek training methods are it is not rigid but flexible one in nature. Number of athletes participate in simultaneously or at a time. It is easily to adapted to the athlete. These are all the advantages of Farlek training method. Some of the disadvantages also here mentioned. Sometimes athlete is likely to drop effort. And one more point, it may be cause accidents due to It's because it's not a pre-planned areas. So there is a plenty of chances for injuries.